The saying's overused for a reason. Just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they aren't after you. And in this world, no one understands that better than Michael Clayton.
Just wait. Just please hear me out, because this is not an episode.
After a few years helping Jason Bourne remember who he is, Tony Gilroy finally stepped into the director's chair in 2007. Instead of pushing further into the action genre he'd helped redefine, he stripped everything back for his debut.
Anybody has a problem with that, I need to know right now.
Michael Clayton follows a law firm calling in its fixer, played by George Clooney, to contain the fallout after one of their lawyers has a breakdown while defending a chemical company he knows is guilty in a multi-billion-dollar class action suit. The film was a success. Strong reviews, solid box office, Oscar nominations, even a win. So why talk about it now? Because culture moves on faster than quality.
It is happening, isn't it?
Films don't vanish because they fail. They vanish because the industry that made them changed.
All right, okay.
And Michael Clayton is one of the clearest examples of a film that was widely praised, then quietly left behind by the wider culture. It also feels strangely current again. With Gilroy finishing the equally lauded Andor, it's hard not to see the through line. The same fascination with compromised people inside corrupt systems, the same slow burn towards a single moment of integrity. At its core, Michael Clayton is a film about the quiet horror of complicity, a world where corruption isn't sensational, it's procedural. What could have been a straightforward legal thriller becomes something more existential. A portrait of a man who spent his career cleaning up other people's messes, finally deciding to stop, knowing it will cost him everything. It's not a redemption story. It's the end of a compromise. And that restraint, that refusal to moralize or mythologize, is what makes Michael Clayton feel more adult than almost anything Hollywood made afterwards. For a film about corporate law, Michael Clayton begins in a strangely dreamlike place. We hear Arthur's disembodied voice, played by Tom Wilkinson, rambling on a voicemail as a law firm works through the night. The introduction, like much of the film, is understated. By the time we finally meet Michael himself, he already looks like a man who's given up. But it isn't until he leaves for a job that we really understand who he is.
There's no angle, there's no champagne room. I'm not a miracle worker, I'm a janitor. The math on this is simple. The smaller the mess, the easier it is for me to clean up.
That's the police, isn't it?
No. They don't call.
Self-aware and broken because of it. That's the tone the film sets early.
Hello.
Shorn of his movie-star glow, George Clooney's weary, slightly schlubby presence sells a man hollowed out by what he's best at. And then, briefly, he's allowed to stop. It's the quietest moment in the film. A man who's spent his life cleaning up other people's messes, standing in front of something that doesn't need fixing at all. For a moment, it feels like it could be done. Emails, meetings, dense legal language. All of it exists to make the irregular feel normal. At no point does the law firm or their client, North, feel like a criminal organization. It just feels like a workplace. One where problems arise, middle management has to decide how far they're willing to go to make them disappear.
Don said that I could, I'm not exactly sure how this works.
Corporate espionage is so embedded in the company, it even has its own department,
We ready? Yep.
The most revealing scene in the film is the murder of Arthur. Shot in a single, unbroken take, it treats killing as routine rather than spectacle. There's no shootout, no struggle, no catharsis. This is the film's star litigator, and even he's expendable.
Ready? And lift. Ready, and go.
It's over, almost, as soon as it begins. And that's what makes it frightening. The murder isn't shocking because it's violent. It's shocking because it's efficient. These men aren't monsters.
We're good.
They're professionals. Solving a problem the same way lawyers do. Just further down the chain. In Michael Clayton, the legal and the illegal don't exist as opposites. They flow into each other. Paperwork and murder sit on the same spectrum of risk management. Even when the truth is spoken out loud, nothing changes, because everyone has already accepted it.
You North, what if he wasn't crazy? What if he was right?
Right about what? That we're on the wrong side?
Wrong side, wrong way, everything, all of it.
This is news. This case reeked from day one. 15 years in, I gotta tell you how we pay the rent.
When the extreme becomes normal, nobody feels evil anymore. And that's what makes this world so dangerous.
We'll wake him up.
But the real story isn't the corruption. It's how different people survive inside it. Michael has learned to live with it. He's an expert at numbing himself just enough to keep going. His job is to absorb messes and make wrongdoing disappear. That mentality bleeds into his personal life too, in the way he tries to contain the damage from his failed business while juggling a loan shark.
He says you're still gonna be short.
How short?
60 plus a point 75,000.
That's liquor and everything?
What'd you think it was gonna be?
No, less. 30, 20. He took 1,500 on a refrigerator I paid $4,000 for.
Make a bid.
The business didn't even fail because of Michael, but he's still the one trying to clean it up. For Clayton, it isn't about excuses. It's about identifying the problem and finding a solution. In his world, everything is manageable once he turns his attention to it. This is why it feels so hollow. Surviving by not looking too closely rots you from the inside. But Michael isn't evil. He's adapted. And only his brother can pin him down the way siblings always can.
You got all these cops thinking you're a lawyer. Then you got all these lawyers thinking you're some kind of cop. You got everybody fooled, don't you? Everybody but you. You know exactly what you want.
Then there's Arthur.
Yeah, yes.
Tom Wilkinson gives him a volatile edge. But his breakdown is really just a sane response to an insane world.
When was the last time you took one of these?
No, I'm not losing this. Everything is now finally significant. The world is a beautiful and radiant place. I'm not trading that for this.
If it's real, the pill won't kill it.
I have blood on my hands.
You are the senior litigating partner of one of the largest, most respected law firms in the world. You are a legend.
I'm an accomplice!
You are a manic depressive.
I am Shiva, the god of death.
Arthur's collapse isn't madness. It's clarity. After one deposition too many, he can't live with the dissonance anymore. His mind breaks because he refuses to normalize what he knows is wrong. And although he may be unraveling, don't mistake that for weakness. Arthur knows exactly what he's doing and exactly who he's up against. And he's right to be feared in a courtroom.
And the single determining criterion for involuntary incarceration is danger. Is the defendant a danger to himself or others? You think you got the horses for that? Well, good luck and God bless. But I tell you this, the last place you want to see me is in court.
I'm not the enemy.
Then who are you?
He's what Clayton might have been without the numbness. A lawyer who finally chooses the hard path, even if it comes too late. Which brings us to Karen Crowder, played by a suitably brittle Tilda Swinton. She's the most dangerous person in the film. Most corporate villains in movies are smooth and comfortable with power. Karen isn't. She rehearses, she sweats, she overthinks. Her decisions, including the escalation against Arthur and Clayton, come from fear, not confidence.
Goodbye.
That makes her more honest and more disturbing. She isn't a mustache-twirling executive. She's the company person without the certainty. Still ambitious, still choosing the system. She isn't cruel. She's committed. And that's how banal corruption escalates. When Clayton finally reaches his tipping point, he doesn't become a hero. He becomes a person again. The car bomb, proof that he's expendable the moment he steps out of line, snaps him out of the life he's been sleepwalking through, and he finally draws a boundary. This is where the film's deeper structure reveals itself. Sin, confession, and absolution. Clayton has spent his life choosing which sins he can live with. Arthur confesses for him, a man who can no longer carry the weight of what he knows. And Karen becomes the moment where absolution becomes possible. Because she's the point where the system finally turns on him and gives him something to push back against.
How'd it go in there?
Karen isn't Clayton's opposite. She's his reflection.
Pretty freaky, huh?
They're both people who felt safe inside the system, who built their lives on knowing how to work it. The only difference is what happens when it finally turns on them. Karen keeps pushing forward. Clayton steps back. Not because he's purer, but because he's reached the point where survival and self-respect can no longer coexist.
This conversation is over.
I'm not the guy that you kill. I'm the guy that you buy. Are you so fucking blind you don't even see what I am? I'm the easiest part of your whole goddamn problem, and you're gonna kill me? Don't you know who I am? I'm a fixer. I'm a bag man. I do everything from shoplifting housewives to bent congressmen, and you're gonna kill me?
In the end, the film refuses catharsis. Michael doesn't get a courtroom win or a heroic send-off. He steps onto an escalator, going down. No longer climbing, no longer servicing power, just quietly leaving the world that owned him. It's an ordinary exit for an extraordinary decision. Then we sit with him in the car. The film doesn't tell us how to feel.
So what are we doing?
It just leaves us with him, facing the cost of that choice. The story ends. Consequences don't.
Just drive.
The reason all of this feels so heavy is that Gilroy never pushes it. The film's style mirrors its moral world. There are no grand speeches, no theatrical villains, no easy emotional cues telling us what to think. Exposition comes through behavior, not through characters stopping to explain themselves. We understand who these people are because of what they do, not what they say. Violence, too, arrives with that spectacle. It's quick, efficient, and unadorned. The film refuses to turn suffering into entertainment, just as it refuses to make corruption feel exciting.
Check.
Even the structure is designed to create unease rather than suspense. By dropping us into the aftermath and running the hitman's thread alongside everything else, Gilroy removes the question of what will happen and replaces it with how bad this is going to get. The editing quietly does a lot of the film's moral work. The opening cross-cutting between Arthur's frantic voicemail and the sterile calm of the office establishes the film's core tension immediately. Later, the way Karen rehearses before we see her perform reveals the anxiety underneath her authority. We're never allowed to see these people as just roles. We're always aware of the fear driving them. All of this is why the film doesn't feel dated. It feels foundational. The kind of grounded, adult thriller that didn't disappear so much as migrate, and now mostly lives on television and streaming. You can see that shift most clearly in Tony Gilroy's Andor. Not because one project led directly to the other, but because both come from the same authorial obsession. Once again, he's writing about a man who survives through compromise until one moment of integrity finally costs him everything. The only difference is that this time, the story happens to be set in space. What made Andor stand out inside the Star Wars universe wasn't the mythology or the spectacle. It was the tone, the same one that runs through Michael Clayton. A world of reluctant people, dirty systems, and moral choices that don't come with applause. There are no simple good guys or bad guys here. Just people trying to endure inside something bigger than them. And that's why Michael Clayton still matters. The bedrock of something like Andor isn't nostalgia or luck. It's craft, patiently developed by a writer-director who trusts his audience enough not to lie to them. So why is Michael Clayton still worth your time today? Because of its honesty. Not about corporations or lawsuits or even crime, but about how people slowly learn to live with things they know are wrong. That's why it lingers. The world it describes hasn't gone away, even if the kinds of films that used to talk about it have. We're still surrounded by institutions that exist to protect themselves first. Moral outrage be damned. Clayton isn't a hero, but his decision to step off the treadmill, to refuse a system that would happily grind him down, is something to recognize.
Who are you?
I'm Shiva, the god of death.
It isn't a victory, but it is a truth. And these days, that's worth holding on to.
What are you doing?
I've been the Keeper of Hidden Sins, and this was a film you forgot. So what's a thriller you loved that nobody seems to talk about anymore? Let me know down in the comments.